They discovered it, they read it, and they applied it. It's the golden thread that connects the titans of the self-development industry, the source that spawned millions of millionaires, the original blueprint to success.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Think and Grow Rich.
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It's a classic. A classic.
And I love Think and Grow Rich. I love it. It's right here. I mean, it's one of my favorite books of all time.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
This material is what changed my life. This is the material I study every day. From being an immigrant woman, coming from poverty, and really coming to America and literally achieving the American dream. I can't even tell you how grateful I am for this man, for what he did for me and my family.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
People don't realize is that when we let our ego get in our way, ego is the loss, the fear of loss. So need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be hurt, fearful. When that trajectory changes, what happens is you continually go the wrong way. So my job as a coach is to say, let's get into the enjoyment of the direct pursuit of my potential. Right? And so when the light went on, it was not about the potential of making money and being an entrepreneur, which is one of my specialties. And I said to him, look, this is an opportunity now to show how great you really are. We can't let the outside voices, right, determine our success. The happiness that we have comes within. Why are you going to give that control to somebody else?
Thoughts become things. And I always wonder, why did no one teach us this? Why did we not learn this in school? Why did we not learn this from our families? If you make your study a priority, your life will change.
And I came up with 4 really valuable things that I took stock in. And the first one was gratitude. Simple gratitude. Although I grew up with nothing, I was always grateful. Throughout the whole process of consistently, persistently pursuing my potential, I was grateful. It made my past better, my present brighter, and my future even brighter than that. In fact, I tell people all the time, if you want to change your life, change your employee's life, your family life, it's very simple. 2 words, say thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Napoleon Hill Institute weekly training. Today's training is the power of perseverance and purpose. We are at the Aspire Business Tour with Kevin O'Leary, Jesse Itzler, and amazing people like Andy Cordell, Eddie Wilson, myself, and Grant Cardone will be closing today. I want to thank everybody. Anybody that wants to be here, just go ahead, reach out to us. We have a diamond lunch and VIP dinner, meetup, interviews, holding court today here in Dallas, Texas. Then we will be at our Dallas Cowboys SoFi Mastermind on Saturday. Come and join us there. Reach out to us, david@dmeltzer.com. We're going to get right to it. And we will have the Nick of Wam as well moderating to make sure everything's going okay. If you haven't catch the Well-Oiled Machine podcast, check us out mostly on Tuesdays. We are having a ton of fun teaching people about productivity, accessibility, and gratitude in time. Why perseverance and purpose are, to me, the ultimate advantage in the pursuit of my potential. Most people don't realize the definiteness of purpose is part of the mathematical equation of luck. What you pay attention to and what you give your intention to, with a desire that you must be what you can be, a desire to align the meaning of the past and the divine direction of where we think we want to be or better. In a world obsessed with speed, shortcuts, and surface level appearance of success, the virtual Gatsbys out there that are standing in front of cars they don't own, houses they don't own, pretending to know what they don't know. We often forget the most meaningful results come from staying committed to a deeper purpose. It is the mission that brings the commissions, not the opposite. Long after the excitement fades, talent, skills, knowledge is helpful. Luck is nice. but nothing outperforms someone with clarity of purpose, a definiteness of purpose, and the willingness to persevere through the resistance and the meaning that you give that resistance. In this training, which I will provide to everyone, just email me for the exercises, guides, in this training, david@dmeltzer.com. Write that down, david@dmeltzer.com. That's how you get in touch with me. In this training, we'll explore what really takes to turn your dreams into a reality, using timeless principles from Napoleon Hill and real-life examples like Rudy Rudiger and even Sylvester Stallone. Their stories aren't just about fame. They're about staying the course when quitting would have been much, much easier. Purpose gives us direction. It gives us a divine direction. And it's perseverance, the desire that we must be what we can be, the capability of enjoying what we don't like or love about what we love in the pursuit, consistently, persistently, of our potential. Perseverance gives us progress, not perfection. Together, we create expansion and transformation. No longer are we going to be the virtual Gatsbys. This isn't about hype. It's about building a foundation of values, practices, and an execution model that we can return to daily. No matter what the detours are, they will align with the divine. Lesson 1, why purpose and perseverance truly matter. Without a clear purpose of knowing what you want experientially, giving wise, personally, receiving wise, and even dreaming and asking and praying wise, we drift. 98% of the people in the world are drifting. They're living their lives like tubes, food in, food out. Rolling a boulder to the top of the hill, like in Camus' The Stranger and the myth of Sisyphus. In Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill clearly defines the drifters compared to the people that have a definiteness of purpose. And those without perseverance will never make it. They'll never make it to the 1,000 steps because it takes 90% of everything they got just to get to 250 steps, even though it'll only take 10% more time to get to 1,000 steps. If anybody would like the 1,000 steps training and diagram and exercises, email me for it. david@dmeltzer.com. Write that down. Together, we can help each other with purpose and perseverance that will become the fuel and the engine for every meaningful activity and achievement in life and business, personally and professionally. I mentioned earlier Rudy Rudiger, who they made or based the movie Rudy after. And Rudy Rudiger truly wasn't built for Notre Dame football the same way I wasn't built for college football. Probably had less talent and strength than Rudy Rudiger. I also mentioned Sylvester Stallone, who had no money, no connections, and a speech impediment. Both overcame an enormous amount of struggle, setbacks, failures, and mistakes. And they overcame enormous odds. But because they had more perseverance than talent, but because they had more purpose than projection, they refused to quit. Rudy Rudiger's story about how he got the movie made is even greater than the story that's in the movie. I don't know anybody other than maybe Jack Canfield, who got rejected 120 times for his book of Chicken Soup for the Soul, which, by the way, is the second best-selling book next to the Bible. I don't know anyone that's been rejected more than Rudy Rudiger. People laughed at him, scoffed at him, made fun of him before he went to Notre Dame, at Notre Dame, after Notre Dame, before the movie, during the movie, and after. They laughed at him, scoffed at him, and made fun of him, and now they applaud him. Purposefully, with perseverance, he pursued his potential. With a predisposition of faith, he never quit. Sylvester Stallone, once again, the making of the movie Rocky is, to me, more inspirational than the 8 or 9 Rockies and Creeds that are produced today. To think that Sylvester Stallone actually had to sell his dog when he was offered a few $100,000 for a script, but they would not let him act in his own movie. So he refused and he continued. He sold his dog. In fact, Buckus, the dog in the movie, is actually the dog that he sold for $50 just so he could eat. Unfortunately, the person he sold it to wasn't as kind and charged him much more to buy it back. Nonetheless, success is never about luck. It's about what you're paying attention to in a definiteness of purpose and what you're giving intention to in that perseverance. I'm going to do everything I can, say everything I can, believe everything, feel everything I can, and do and think everything I can in alignment where I think I want to be or better. Success is never about this luck. It's about alignment and the grit. And grit doesn't mean overdoing it. It means maintaining the non-negotiables of your sleep and your health and your family alongside of the non-negotiable behaviors in the pursuit of your potential to do your movie, your business, your charity. Your purpose gives you a reason to get up, get back up, get started, get back started, and to get there. Your purpose will answer the calling of, for the sake of what am I doing this? I utilize the Michael Jordan rule for the sake of what. So if there's something I don't want to do, I just tell myself, well, Michael Jordan's waiting to do that with you. For the sake of meeting and doing it with Michael Jordan, would you do it? And if the answer is yes, then for the sake of my family, my health, my finances, my faith, the relativity and the time in my life, for the sake of those things should be equal or greater to than me just wanting to be with Michael Jordan. I promise you, there's one thing that will guarantee that you finish your race. It is the desire that you must be what you can be, and perseverance is the illustration of that desire. Make sure you're focused in on what you want personally, experientially, giving and receiving wise, and make sure that you're identifying the clues and the patterns of how you react to the fear of what you think and what other people say, think, do, and believe. When they laugh, scoff, and make fun of you, like Rudy Rudiger, like Sylvester Stallone. Ask yourself, what I'm doing today aligned with my definiteness of purpose? If you have non-negotiable behavior, I guarantee the answer will always be yes. And then it's just a matter of learning how to prioritize better and recommit each and every day to the practices, the values, and the execution in the divine direction, giving meaning to the struggle that's aligned with where you want to be or get better, giving meaning to the divine detours as well, giving meaning to the setbacks, failures, mistakes, defining moments as well, to not cast a shadow on your future, to not limit your self-image or your imagination, knowing not to be repetitive, that you'll never overachieve your own self-image. Lesson number 2 in perseverance in the definiteness of purpose is that clarity will compel action. Without the clarity of the definiteness of purpose, without focus on the attention on what you think you want or better, we cannot implement and execute the intention to get there. Your energy will be scattered or interfered with. Understanding that we have access to an unlimited amount of energy, we want to make sure we're figuring out what we're doing to interfere with it. And with it, you become unstoppable. Rudy didn't kind of want to play for Notre Dame. He didn't kind of want to play football. He didn't kind of want to make the movie about perseverance. He made it his life's mission, and the commissions followed. That clarity of what he wanted personally, experientially, giving and receiving wise fueled every single step in the 1,000 steps that it took to make him successful in what he thought he wanted to do or better. Napoleon Hill taught, there's one quality which one must possess to win, and that is the definiteness of purpose. Without it, persistent fade. Without it, you'll never get to where you want to be or better. You'll be a drifter. You'll end up somewhere, somehow, in some time, instead of where you want to be or better, in the right time, at the right place, in the divine. Divine direction and divine detours will allow for divine time to reveal the best for ourselves using a predisposition of faith in the definiteness of purpose. You can't just sit home high on your mom's couch, sick and broke, dreaming about what you want. You got to have a definiteness of purpose, and you got to define that purpose in a single sentence at best. Make it simple. Don't interfere with where you want to be or better. Make it simple. My definiteness of purpose is to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. By empowering them to make a lot of money, to live in abundance, to help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. It's simple to say, but the simple things to do are simple not to do. Let's create a definiteness of purpose in a single sentence. Ask ourselves, does the purpose align with the values, practices, and execution, the strengths, the skills, knowledge, and desire in the long-term 1,000 steps that it will take to get there? Noting it will take 90% of what we do, say, think, feel, and believe, all the money and time and emotion and value that we can provide, 90% of everything just to get to 250 steps. So our human perspective will be, we're never going to get there. Our human perspective will say, there's no evidence. The evidence is contrary to where we want to be, and we're not going to get there. 99% of the people will drift and not get there because they will quit before they get to 250 steps because the steps aren't equal. You got to take a few steps back to go a few steps forward. They're slippery, they're broken, they're dirty, they're smoggy, they're on fire. Whatever they are, but you will get there. And if you can get to 250 steps, you're almost there. You're 90% of the way there. If you like that exercise of the 1,000 steps, once again, write this down, david@dmeltzer.com. The third lesson in perseverance and definiteness of purpose is the inner fire, the desire that won't go out. I'm blessed to do thousands of interviews, be interviewed thousands of times, and give interviews to the biggest billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers. The entire neighborhood that exists here on the Aspire Business Tour today, they have one thing in common as all the people I hang out with. They have a fire, a desire that they must be what they can be, and that fire never goes out. The desire to be what you must be is what moves us when motivation, the ability to get up, get back up, get started, and get back started runs out. It is like rocket fuel. What do you do when the rocket fuel lifts us off the ground and is gone? We got to break through the atmosphere so we can ease on down the road to Mars and Jupiter and where else we can take ourselves into millions of years of infinite galaxies. If you don't want it deeply like Rudy and Sly, you won't withstand the resistance. You'll let the void shortages and obstacles, you'll let what other people think and what other people say stop you from getting to even the 250 steps, let alone the 500 and the 1,000 to get you to where you want to be or better. Sylvester Stallone turned down six-figure offers for Rocky script because they wouldn't let him star in his own movie. Imagine being so broke you had to sell your dog for $50, and he still believed so deeply that he was Rocky and that this movie was the Academy Award winner as it was and would be one of the most successful franchises and licensees in the entertainment business of all time. Imagine selling your dog to survive. That is a design. That is a desire to be what you must be. How much do you want what you want or better? Are you willing to sleep in your car? Are you willing to give everything you have, including your dog? We have to want it more than we want to be comfortable. We have to give meaning to the struggle for the sake of getting to where we want to be or better, regardless of the time it takes. We are able and capable of enjoying, like Sly, enjoying what we don't like or love about what we love. See, he was able to enjoy what he didn't like or love about the movie Rocky, writing the movie Rocky, starring in the movie. There's so much he didn't like or love. Just the same way as it was for me to be a second string college football player. I love football. I still love football. But I'll tell you, I didn't like or love sitting on the bench. I didn't like or love getting my ass kicked. I didn't like or love getting yelled at. I didn't like or love the films and the practices and the tapings for the sake of what I did love. But I learned to love it. I learned to love it for the sake of the team, for the sake of leadership qualities that I was going to learn, for the sake of my potential, of how much I could push myself to the best of my capability, even when the best of my capability wasn't as good as everybody's else average capability. That's where the desire comes in. That's where success finds you. Let's make sure that we know our dreams and make sure that they not only excite us, but carry the same frequency, that it challenges us, notating the fear that's created and the reaction to that fear so we can respond accordingly in the divine direction. Ask ourselves, what are we willing to do to endure and bring this to materialization, monetization, to life? What are we willing to do? Are you willing to sleep in your car? Are you willing to sell your dog? So many entrepreneurs that I work with, they lie to themselves. Mr. Meltzer, I'm doing everything I can. Oh, well, it seems like you're working another job. It seems as if you're not mortgaging your house. It seems like whatever it is, you're not where you need to be or better. You may make it, it'll just take more time. But do you have a desire that you must be what you can be? Notating, by the way, that doesn't mean to quit your job and go 100% into your new venture, your side hustle. It means do what you need to do to create enough money and enough time so that you can give an adequate amount of attention to a side hustle that it becomes your main hustle. Do you have the inner fire that won't go out? If you do, I promise you success. Lesson 4. Believe in what you can't see yet. The predisposition of faith. It's the wisdom and the faith that shorten the distance of resistance that we create, that perseverance will overcome. A predisposition of surrender and faith that when there's no evidence or the evidence is contrary to where we want to be, we're going to continue to have the behaviors aligned with our divine direction and purpose, our definiteness of purpose. This faith, combined with the wisdom, sustain us when we can't see the rewards for our efforts. We can't see the outcome for our effort. It is faith and wisdom that will bridge the gap between the dream and reality, and it must be a predisposition, not a disposition or a post-disposition in favor of where we want to be. You need to surrender first and then take action. Both Rudy and Stallone had no guarantees where they were going to be or better, but they showed up every single day as if their dreams were already real. Already real. Belief isn't pretending. It isn't temporary. It isn't an extra mile circumstance where you have belief every once in a while and justify why you're not where you want to be because you have belief, or go the extra mile every once in a while and use that to justify why you're not where you want to be. It's a predisposition. It's a preparation. And you must seek the faith and the wisdom in that predisposition in order to bridge the gap between the dreams and reality when there's no evidence and the evidence is contrary to where you want to be. Make sure you have the right affirmations that reinforce your definiteness of purpose. I am where you want to be or better. I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am worthy. What am I doing to interfere with it? I am an Academy Award winner. I am a Notre Dame football player. What am I doing to interfere with it? We got to do, say, think, feel, and believe, and visualize all of this success each and every day with clarity, harmony, focus, and emotion, energy and motion, to have the intention to do, say, think, feel, and believe. If you'd like those guideposts, if you'd like the 1,000 steps, if you'd like the exercises and guides, so you each day can use these mantras of I am and give you the values, behaviors, and execution of it, just email me, write it down, david@dmeltzer.com. The fifth lesson, in perseverance and definiteness of purpose, staying the course no matter what. Now, that doesn't mean no adjustment. The course changes every day within the context of the circumstances of the day. I utilize non-negotiables to give me certainty, at least of half of my day, and then I get better and better at prioritizing the circumstances of the day to stay the course in the divine direction, but learning from the detours to make them divine and allowing for divine time to keep me on a course that I do not know because there's no evidence or the evidence is contrary to where I want to be. I promise you, in the 1,000 steps, which I'm happy to give you, everyone will hit walls. You're going to have to go 2 steps back to go 3 steps forward. What separates the success from the failure is that the greats keep going anyway because they stay the course and learn from and respond to the reaction to the fear that they're not going to make it. Stallone, Jack Canfield, Rudy Ruettiger heard no from over 1,000 different agents and 1,000 different people. Rudy was rejected by Notre Dame twice before finally getting in, let alone what he had to go through to get the movie made. But they persisted when logic told them, analysis told them to quit, because logic and analysis aren't on the same frequency as desire. They're not on the same frequency of intuition, intelligence, and inspiration. You can't out-logic emotion. And it's that emotion aligned with the divine that got them to where they want to be or better, based off the values that they had, the behaviors that were disciplined, and the execution and intention of that. What they paid attention to, what they gave intention to, equaled the coincidences or better in their life. It coincided with what they desired. I promise you one thing. Persistence is not glamorous. It's not a virtual Gatsby. It's not standing and pretending. Stop standing in front of shit you don't own or people you don't know. Persistence isn't glamorous. Stop being a virtual Gatsby. It's gritty. It's the ability to enjoy, listen to me, to enjoy what you don't like or love about what you love. That's grit. You don't got to spend 100% of your time. You could have half of your day spent on non-negotiable behaviors: sleep, family, health, finance, faith, relativity, and time. Then spend the other 12 hours doing, saying, thinking, feeling, and believing according to the circumstances of the day where you want to be or better. Start with one area, lower the bar. Start with one area where you feel as if you've lost the momentum, the inspiration, intelligence, and intuition that it's going to take to give you the desire that you must be what you can be to get to where you want to be, regardless of the evidence that is here and apparent today. Commit to it. Commit to the daily practices of what you want, who you can help you, how to get it done, and prioritize accordingly with non-negotiables and negotiables. Do it now. Know what to do next. And then you will apply your why. If you'd like those 5 daily practices with the 1,000 steps, with the exercises and guides, write this down, david@dmeltzer.com. I'll be happy to give them to you. Lesson 6, learning how we respond to the reaction of fear, the defeat, the doubt, the fear, the inner battle. You can't find outside of you what you can't see inside of you. Fear will tell you to play it safe. Doubt will whisper that you're not enough. You can't do it. And if this is left unchecked in the subconscious mind, where 80% of the thoughts are repetitive, it will rob you of your destiny. Rudy and Sly Stallone were not immune to fear like the rest of us. They still are afraid. They just respond to the reaction that they had to fear. Rudy and Stallone could have sold their scripts and walked away, but they chose belief over comfort. Courage is the absence of the reaction of fear. It is the response to the reaction of fear. It's a movement in spite of it. There's no absence of fear. Fear is omnipresent. Reaction is instant and obvious. Response is your meaning and control of it. Let me train you how to respond to the reaction of fear. Let's understand what's interfering with the infinite. I am. What am I doing to interfere with it? You finish the sentence. Take a bold step. Get ready to challenge it. The final lesson in perseverance and the definiteness of purpose is the power of the team, the power of support, masterminds, and mentors. This is what Napoleon Hill has taught us since the 1930s. Join us in our masterminds mentorship. Join us. Please email me, write this down, david@dmeltzer.com. Be a part of a community of people that want to help each other and know people that will help each other, that buy from each other and sell for each other for life. You were never meant to do it alone. Trust me, it's a collective consciousness, an infinite consciousness that we belong to. And the right teams you play in the right position, knowing who can help you and who you can help, will amplify what you do, say, feel, and believe, and allow to hold yourself accountable, to say to yourself, what did I do to be responsible, to attract it, participate in this perception, and what am I supposed to learn from it? Rudy had so many people in his corner. Sly had so many people in his corner, sharing the vision of doing, saying, thinking, feeling, creating the coincidences. Your team will fuel you or deplete you. It will feed you or bleed you. Know your position. Make sure you're on the right team with the right ideas, with people that can help you and you can help. Make sure you know the teams according to the subject matter, topics, and expertise. Make sure that you have consistent, persistent communication with those people. Gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and effective communication will align you in the divine of where you want to be or better. The process is the prize. The world may measure you by your results, but your fulfillment of learning to love what you do, love what you don't like, or love about what you love and do will come from the journey. How did you show up? Who did you become? What do we stand for when the things are hard? What meaning did we give the struggle when there's no evidence or the evidence is contrary to where we want to be? Purpose without perseverance is just a wish. Perseverance without purpose becomes burnout. But when you combine the two, that's when we build something that lasts in the consistent, persistent pursuit, whether it's business, career, legacy, family, or life of service. Be a beloved servant. You don't need to have to figure it all out. We just need to define our purpose and keep us going. Get aligned, take action, prepare for adjustment each and every day with non-negotiable and negotiable behavior. The dream you're chasing isn't unrealistic. It's just waiting on your consistency, persistency in the pursuit of it, or better. Start today, stay consistent. Enjoy the love of what you don't like or love about what you love. Enjoy the consistent every day, persistent without quit pursuit of your potential. And never forget, the only way to lose is to stop. If you'd like the 1,000 steps, the 5 daily practices, the exercises and guides of why the power of persistence and purpose is so important, please email me. Write this down, david@dmeltzer.com. I'm hoping to see you today in Dallas with the Aspire Tour. Come and join us at SoFi Stadium for the Dallas Cowboy Mastermind. We're going to be in Orange County, LA, filming 2-minute drill. Go fund yourself. We're going to be in Puerto Rico. We're going to be in New Jersey as well. Just email us. We'd love to give you our entire schedule. Also, text us if you want to be invited to all this shit. 949 298-2905. If you don't want to be invited, do not text me at 949-298-2905. Nick of Wam, I got to jump down to Aspire. Why don't you go ahead and close out Clubhouse? Gigi, hit it, my friend. Be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Hit it.
They discovered it, they read it, and they applied it. It's the golden thread that connects the titans of the self-development industry, the source that spawned millions of millionaires, the original blueprint to success.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Think and Grow Rich.
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It's a classic. A classic.
And I love Think and Grow Rich. I love it. It's right here. I mean, it's one of my favorite books of all time.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
This material is what changed my life. This is the material I study every day. From being an immigrant woman, coming from poverty, and really coming to America and literally achieving the American dream. I can't even tell you how grateful I am for this man, for what he did for me and my family.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
People don't realize is that when we let our ego get in our way, ego is the loss, the fear of loss. So need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be hurt, fearful. When that trajectory changes, what happens is you continually go the wrong way. So my job as a coach is to say, let's get into the enjoyment of the direct pursuit of my potential. Right? And so when the light went on, it was not about the potential of making money and being an entrepreneur, which is one of my specialties. And I said to him, look, this is an opportunity now to show how great you really are. We can't let the outside voices, right, determine our success. The happiness that we have comes within. Why are you going to give that control to somebody else?
Thoughts become things. And I always wonder, why did no one teach us this? Why did we not learn this in school? Why did we not learn this from our families? If you make your study a priority, your life will change.
And I came up with 4 really valuable things that I took stock in. And the first one was gratitude. Simple gratitude. Although I grew up with nothing, I was always grateful. Throughout the whole process of consistently, persistently pursuing my potential, I was grateful. It made my past better, my present brighter, and my future even brighter than that. In fact, I tell people all the time, if you want to change your life, change your employee's life, your family life, it's very simple. 2 words, say thank you.